Hey, welcome back. It's Michelle.
And Miguel.
Today we're gonna watch my version of the Slender Man character drawing. I guess that's what we're doing here today.
Yeah, and we're just gonna have a conversation about it. We're going to cancel Slender Man.
Wait, what?
Just kidding.
Would you like to elaborate on that while we watch the time-lapse of my drawing of the Slender Man?
Yeah, sure. What's on my mind lately is how today's folklore is an extension from social media culture. Because when you think of folklore, we think of stories we tell each other when we are sitting around the campfire. Nowadays, ever since the mid-2000s, a lot of today's folklore stems from stories that people make up on the internet. Stories about like the Slender Man, the Tall Man, the man in the boulder cap hat, or the boulder hat. And a lot of them also are kind of like related to earlier folklore too. So we're just going to talk a little bit about that. And in this case, it's the Slender Man. How did you come up with the idea of Slender Man?
So how can I make this work for me, since this is kind of like a challenge for both of us to have designed our own version or our own idea for the Slender Man character? The way I approach mine, I want it to be more kid friendly. Like, that doesn't make sense because this character is usually associated with harming children. But in this case, I try to make it family friendly. Made it more cute. I put a suit on, but the suit's kind of also got this cutesy roundness to him. And I know many times Miguel told me he does not have tentacles, but you know what, screw it, I want to put tentacles on Slender Man. And I kind of made him sort of look more lonely than like scary. There's something about the internet to me where, again, there's that relationship of you being alone or being lonely. Being on social media can make you feel that way sometimes, but at the same time, we're also connected with people on the internet. And I think Slender Man is kind of that example of that weird relationship that people have with the internet. It could be a place of you are all connected, or you're sharing the same story with somebody. In this case, we all understand there is a Slender Man, and at the same time it can make you feel alone because you're also scared by this creature existing. So I think there have been plenty of films that have this kind of concept now, right? Like there was an actual Slender Man movie.
Yeah, so the thing that I find, I guess, controversial is out of all the various adaptations, both commercial and fan-made, the Slender Man movie was pretty problematic, mainly because it does not draw from the actual folklore. It simply took an icon and they gave it their own story. There's so much of the lore missing or just completely changed. It would have been better if they just did not call it Slender Man, just call it a slender thing.
It's a little sad too, because there are people out there who really actually believe in this creature, and it's amazing to me that it's actually a concept that's only recent, not like it's an urban legend type thing.
Yeah. Well, it's actually been around since 2012, I would say.
Yeah.
So it's been surprisingly a couple years now.
And I just remember it was such a trend to talk about it. And it's amazing to me that it's just one of those things, like, I was already scared of hearing such stories anyway, so I just don't like hearing that kind of stuff. Maybe because more of I don't like the influence it was giving out. There was like that incident where there were two girls who actually
they actually murder and
because they
trying to lift a curse or something.
Yeah, they were so-called inspired by the Slender Man. But
yeah, it's not so much different than other toxic stuff anyway, so
yeah,
it's really just based on how you were raised.
Slender Man originated from the internet, right? And so I think about how we are all technically Slender Men in our own way, because we hide behind a keyboard and we are anonymous sometimes. And imagine that a lot of harm comes from anonymous people, well, also people who have a profile, but that you can actually cause harm to someone without directly harming them, right? Cyberbullying, like we all hide behind a keyboard.
I think the moral of the story here is we are all Slender Man.
We can't cancel Slender Man because we're all Slender Man.
Yes.
Unless we cancel ourselves.
Slender Man is not canceled.
But anyway, hope you like my version of the Slender Man. Stay tuned for another conversation with me and Miguel about our thoughts on such creatures and myths and legends. So stick around. See ya. Bye.